Hello everyone. In today's session of CCNA series, we'll configure and verify IPv4 address on a switch and a router. You can assign IP addresses in two ways, static and dynamic. In static, we have to manually configure IP address and their parameters. In dynamic, we rely on DHCP server to assign the IP address to the interface. Let's begin with the IPv4 address configuration on the switch. A switch configures its IPv4 address and mask on this special NIC-like VLAN interface. Let's start with the static IP address configuration, which can be done in 3 steps. Step 1. Use the interface VLAN 1 global configuration mode to enter interface VLAN 1 configuration mode. Step 2. Use the IP address and subnet mask command in interface configuration mode to assign an IP address and the mask. Step 3. Use the no shutdown command in the interface configuration mode to enable the VLAN 1 interface if it is not enabled, and press enter. You can look at the messages that appear just below the no shutdown command. These messages are saying that message generated by the switch stating that the switch did indeed enable the interface. Switches or routers generate syslog messages in response to a variety of events, and by default these messages appear at the console. You can verify the IP address using 3 different types of command. First one, show running config. In the show running config under the VLAN 1 interface, you can see the IP address assigned. And the next command we can use is show IP interface brief, which will show you the IP address assigned, and also it will show you it is assigned manually using static IP address method. Next, let's configure the switch to request the IP address from DHCP server. First, let me connect the DHCP server to the switch, and then you can see the interface came up right away. And then let's remove the earlier configuration and shut the interface. The command to enable the switch to request the DHCP server to assign the IP is IP address DHCP under the interface VLAN 1 command. And then you can unshut the interface. Here you can see the DHCP server assigned the IP address 192.168.101. The same can be verified using the earlier used command show IP interface brief. Here you can see the IP address assigned as shown in the syslog message 192.168.1.101, and the method used is DHCP. Another command which will show you the parameters assigned by DHCP is show DHCP lease. Here you can see it will show you the IP address, the subnet mask, and the IP address of the DHCP server along with the other parameters. Next, let's see how we can configure the same IP addresses on the router. First, let me connect the DHCP server to the router interface gig0/0/0. Then I will hop on to the router and then configure the interface 000, and I'll assign the IP address 192.168.1.anything 12 for example, and along with the subnet mask. And then I'll enable the interface using no shut command. As soon as you enable the interface, you can see this syslog message showing the interface is up. Next, let's verify the output, not command, I mean. You can see under the gig0/0/0 we configured the IP address. Also, you can verify the same using show IP interface brief command, which will show you the IP address configured under this interface and the method used manual. Next, let's Go under the interface 0/0/0 and remove the IP address, and then let the interface request the IP from the DHCP server. Here again we can use the same command, IP address DHCP. As soon as you type the command, the DHCP server will assign the IP 192.168.1.102 along with a mask. The same command can be used to verify the IP address. Here you can see the method uses DHCP, and then you can use the show DHCP lease command to verify the parameters. Here you can see the IP address is assigned on the interface gig 0/0/0 and the subnet mask and the IP address of the DHCP server along with the other parameters. That's it for this session. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.